Great top of the day to you, family. My name is Ifoma Pierre. And I tell you this much, man, you just laid it up so good, man. We only got 30 minutes, so I don't know how we going to do all of that. Because everybody's like, man, what? Man, we got 30 minutes. We got 29 now. So, if it's okay with you, we're now going to do a long introduction. The one thing I've learned throughout my 17-year career in real estate is, never tell somebody something you can show them. And the number one way to help somebody is get this, help them. Right. So my goal here today is in the next few minutes that we have together to help you. Yes, I'm a real estate agent in New York City. I've been a broker for going on 17 years now, and I have the opportunity and the privilege to be able to travel all around this country and teach real estate agents and brokers how to maximize this vehicle that we call real estate. And make no mistake about it, it's a vehicle. It's a vehicle that we are supposed to use to get us to what we really want to do. But the challenge is that we have not adapted properly with how to use this vehicle, and instead of using it, we get used by it. How many of us have gotten into the business to be able to find more time? Let me see your hands nice and high. Like, I got into the business so that I can get more time. Yeah, that didn't happen, right? I got into the business because, man, I want to be my own boss. And you realize that your own boss doesn't pay that well, right? Long hours, no benefits. It's like, shoot, what did I sign up for? Right? So my goal today is to help you. And that's what we want to do. So if you're taking some notes, I'm going to be dropping some things here for you in a hot second. But my goal and my heart today is to simplify this business. How many of you would agree, nice and high, Shane, let me see your hands, nice and how many of you would agree that real estate is very noisy right now? Yes or yes? It is noisy. Every second you turn, something new is coming out. Something is happening now. Man, you got to use AI. Man, I'm still trying to tweet. Like, bro, like, what is you talking about? I'm still trying to get over here on this LinkedIn, and you talking about AI and there's a lot of stuff, and some of it is good, but I want you to understand this: the more things change, the more they rename the same. Okay, and the reason why I say that to you is this: is real estate is a contact sport. Write that down. Everything that you do, all the stuff that you do, if you're not making contacts, you're not making business, right? It's still a people business. So let me help you with some stuff here. So write this down. The first thing I want to teach you, and today is just a piece of what I taught about at the NARAB conference, which is adapt or evaporate, how to survive the ever-changing real estate market. The market is going to be constantly changing, but there are some fundamentals that when laid in place, you're going to be successful. Okay. So number one is, ready for this? The secret of your success is going to be determined by your daily agenda. Your secret to your success is going to be determined by your daily agenda. How you show up for the day. I've coached a lot of agents. I've spent a lot of time with a lot of agents. And the one thing I do not see is a proper agenda. A proactive agenda. There's a few of us that we have an agenda, and when you see the people with the agenda and you watch their success, you watch their movement, you'll see the pattern. So some of us, we wake up and there's no plan for the day. You don't have an agenda of what exactly I'm going to be doing at what time I'm going to be doing it on. So the first thing, if I'm going to be coaching anybody, is say, hey, let me ask you something. Let me see what your plan is for today. Now, some people, and not you, because you guys are rock stars, but some people, man, on your agenda is, I'm going to the Rise and Grind podcast. I'm going to learn some stuff. And then when you finish, whew, that was a good session. Oh my gosh, Ben brought an amazing guy. It was so good. And then they're going to say, what did he talk about? I don't know, man, but it was just so good. Let's do lunch. And there is no activation. There is no activation. So here's what I want you to understand. We don't need to learn something new. Write this one down. This is a good one for you. People need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. You don't need to be taught too many new other stuff. When I'm going to teach you today, and I'm very tech savvy, I'm considered an expert on AI, but I'm going to teach you some stuff today that you don't have to do any of those things to be successful if you do these fundamentals, right? So you don't need to learn something new. What you need to do is act upon what you already know and become proactive, consistent, right? So the first thing is that the secret of your success is going to be determined by your daily agenda. I want you to have an agenda, and it's going to be broken down into four parts of the day, 4 quarters. You break it down into four sections. The first section of your day is going to be your lead generation section. When I get in, write this one. This is a good one. You are the CEO of your business. I want you to write on a piece of paper. My only job is to make it rain. You are the rainmaker. Every day that you get up and you get into your office, your job is to make it rain before you do anything else. You could be a great presenter. You could be great at script and role play. You could be great on Facebook and YouTube and all these different things. But if you're not generating leads, if there's not fresh opportunities coming inside of your business every single day, your business did not grow that day. Are you with me? So my job is I have to make it rain today. Yes? So the first thing, you're writing a piece of paper. Well, how do you do that? How do you make it rain? What's your rain skill set? And I'll give you one of my favorites in a second. But how do you make it rain? You are the CEO of this 6-figure business. Yes or yes? You remember when you signed up for this job? Everybody wanted to make 6 figures. Yes? Let me see your hands. I said, I want to make 6. Because if you don't want to make 6 figures, man, got many other things that you could do. Okay, my son works at Aldi. He makes about a couple of dollars. I could probably hook you up over there. Don't get into this business with the stress that we got to go through to talking about, I'm okay if I just make 40, 50,000. What? What are you talking about? This is not the room for average. They're giving out average all the way down on the other side. It's not even close to this room. Okay, so if you said to me, man, I want to make 6 figures, 100, 200, whatever the number is. Okay, my question to you now becomes, would you pay you to do what you do every single day? Man, that's a good question. If you were to just pull back and just watch what you do, would you pay you to do what you do? Would you pay you $150,000 to do what you do? So that's the first thing that I want you to understand. When you wake up, the first thing that you do is you make it rain. This is a good one. You ready for this one? You cannot be a top producer with a 9-to-5 mindset. You can't be a top producer with a 9-to-5 mindset. You can't, I'm just going to wake up, I'm going to go get some coffee, and I'm just going to put in some hours. How many of you know that we don't get paid because of the time we put in? Let me just let that sink in for a second. How many of you are putting in some good hours in work? Be honest. You're putting in some hours, right? 40, 50. You're putting in some time. But when you get that 1099, you're like, some don't add up. I know I'm putting in the hours, but my 1099 has a totally different conversation because you do not get paid by the hours you put in. You get paid by the activities that you do. So what are those activities? You don't get paid by the hour. So stop blocking out time for prospecting. Say, well, what is he talking about? I was always taught about I got to put 2 hours in every day for prospecting. Here's the problem that I found with the 2 hours. Your brain gets a little bit confused. So you get in. I'm going to be prospecting and lead generating from the hours of 10 to 12. That's normal. We've heard that for many years. What I've seen as a coach and as a top producer, people getting at 10 o'clock. And then I go over to Monique's desk and I'm like, hey, what you doing today? Well, I'm prospecting. Then they go over to Ivan's, right? But Ivan's, he's not gonna have his door open because he's doing his work. My door is locked. You can't come in to talk to me on my prospecting time. But then I go over to Kelly. Kelly, what you doing? Now, mind you, my clock starts ticking, Stephen. I'm at 10, but I'm talking to Kelly, I'm talking to Monique, I'm talking to Christina. So now all of a sudden I get on the phone call, I make a phone call, had a weird conversation. I come over to Scott and I say, Richie, man, that was it. So 12 o'clock, man, I put my 2 hours in. How many people you spoke to? 2. How many appointments? None. But your brain has checked in that you did what? 2 hours worth of prospecting. How many of you know we didn't get paid that day? Yes or yes? So stop measuring your business by hours, and I want you to start doing it by contacts, conversations, conversions. That's how you measure your business. I'm going to say it again. Contacts, conversations, and conversions. Man, I don't even know if I could finish this, man. You guys are, whoo. So watch this now. If I know that I need to have 10 contacts a day, first thing is, how many contacts do you need to get to a contract? What's that number? How many people do I need to speak to before I can actually get me an appointment? And when I get the appointment, how many appointments do I need to go on before I can close? Some of us on here know that number. Some of us don't. So the first thing is, for your prospecting, instead of 2 hours, put a number on it. And here's the number. I cannot stop until I get either 20 conversations, new conversations a day, or I cannot go home. All of a sudden, your mindset shifts now. Is this making sense to you? So I could come in at 9 o'clock and I could book me my appointment and I could be done at 9:15, 9:20, right? I'm just saying. I got an appointment, my business grow. Rather than 2 hours and 2 conversations, I got 1 appointment. Now, some days you come in and guess what? It's going to take me a couple hours to get that 1 appointment. There were some days, family, I could not go home until I got me 5 appointments. I couldn't go home. I'm in the office, 8 o'clock in the night, 8:30 in the night. I'm in New York, so we calling people 9 o'clock. I don't matter. It doesn't matter to me. 9, 10 o'clock, man, I'm on the phone. Hello, you want to sell? Because I can't go home. Is this sinking in? So it's not hours, it's contacts, then conversations, and then conversions. So what are we talking about, Coach, with conversions? Conversions is this. How many of you are scripting and role playing every single day? Nice. I know you are, man. That's my guy. I know. But I see a few hands. How disrespectful it is that you're trying to apply for a job, but you're not practicing, rehearsing, and making sure that you're adding enough value in that conversation. When I say script and role play, I don't necessarily mean about handling objections, because I don't handle objections. I address them. It's a big difference, because when you handle them, it's like I'm fighting with them, but addressing them is a totally different situation. So if I'm talking to Kelly over the phone and I'm asking Kelly, hey, Kelly, what is it that you're looking for in a real estate agent? What exactly happened the last time that your home didn't sell, that you're not, what was that experience that looked like? Kelly, what was the one thing that I'll need to do for you to hire me tonight? These are the dialogues. Christina, one of the reasons why my sellers choose me is my ability to get their home sold fast and in a short amount of time. Now, when I come over to the home on Friday and I'm able to, check all your boxes and make you feel comfortable, are you ready for us to do business on Friday, Christina? I'm asking even before I get to the appointment, because if she says to me, oh, no, I'm going to interview other agents, I'm like, yes, love it. Put it in my pocket. So when I get to the house, what am I going to do, family? I'm not going to handle it. I'm going to do what, Kelly? I'm going to address. Big difference. It's going to be in my presentation. Man, I ain't got enough time for this. So here's the thing. You cannot practice when it's time to perform. If the only time that you're using your dialogues, your voice inflections, and you guys are Keller, so you guys have the bold system, which I've taken myself, and I love the system and the way that it's set up. I don't know what you have now, but I'm telling you this. If you don't master your tonality, if you don't master your voice inflections, if you don't master your NLP, if you're not mastering that on every single day, when you get to that table and it's time for you to convert, you can't. Because you're trying to practice when it's time to perform. That's good. 2 more. So we talked about your daily agenda. We talked about changing your mindset, moving it from an hour mindset to a contact mindset or to an appointment mindset. I cannot leave until I get 10 conversations, or I cannot leave until I get 1 appointment a day. Right? And your goal is going to be the top part, which is how you're going to make it rain. One of the ways that I love to make it rain is working by referral. Who's working by referral? I'm not talking about get referrals. It's a difference. Some people can get referrals and some people work by referral. We see the hands nice that who work by referral. You have a system to get referrals. It's systematic. It's not magic. It doesn't just whimsically happen. No, 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 no. I know what I'm doing. For those of you that are not working by referral, here's some of the reasons why. I don't want to bother them. That mindset needs to change. I don't bother my referrals. They're excited to see me because I add value. How do I add value? I'm always bearing gifts. I'm always giving them something that they can use. And some of the quick fires I can give you, number one, is client parties. And here's the thing. I know people, and I've coached agents in New York City, that when they do a client party, 300,000 plus generated just from the client party. Now you say, I don't have enough money to do the client party. You got money. First of all, a client party doesn't need to be big with ponies and camels and all these different things. A simple client party would be, I want you to write this down. I want you to find the top 20 people that like you, that appreciate you, that always looks forward to your call. If you got 20 people to send you one referral a year, just 20 people. I'm in New York. I'm going to use a low number. And let me tell you something. I got kicked out of every school I was ever in, so I'm not good at math. So if this number is wrong, it's wrong, but I think it's right. If you got 20 people to send you one referral a year, and let's say on average you take away $5,000 from that, what's that number, family? It's $100K. $100,000 from 20 people that will send me one referral a year. Who could do that? Let me see your hands. Well, how do you do that? I take 20 people and I commit to doing a simple basic client party where I could find me an all-you-can-eat buffet, pay $20 a head. Yeah, I like the all-you-can-eat buffet because I don't want to come bring them in and then people say, let me get the lobster. Let me get the steak. Like, man, you ain't sending the referrals yet, man. You better watch that filet mignon, my bro. So, so you get them a nice all-you-can-eat for $20-25. You got 20 people. You bring them out into a nice place and they go eat. They eat. You know, your budget is flat. You have a flat budget. They eat. You have some nice takeaways. You give them, you could provide a market evaluation for them when they come out. Say, hey, here's an updated equity report. Write that down. That's another good one. I stopped doing home market evaluations. I don't do that anymore. When folks say, hey, man, you want to get a free market evaluation on your home? That's played out. You know why it's played out? Because they can just go to Google. They could put their address in and they got about 52 different companies giving them a what? Somebody help me. A free market evaluation. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm moving from the ordinary, from a licensee. So now I'm moving into, hey, I could give you a home equity report. And every month it updates on the equity in your property. It shows you how much you pay down. It tells you if you're looking to cash out and buy. And a great website that could do that I've used a lot is called My Home IQ. Okay. And there's many of them, but that's one of them. And these are monthly reports that come out to your sellers. Now, here's the beautiful part about it. It changes. Now you can call, hey, Christina, did you check it out today? You saw the equity went up. Oh my goodness. Did you take a look at that? People get more excited for the equity than they get for how much a home could sold for. Yes. So yes. You see, what the home could sell for is one thing, but how much money am I getting in my pocket? That gets me excited. I put my own house on it, and I was doing it on it, and one day I logged in, and they sent me an email, and it said, you have $600,000 worth of equity. I was like, baby, we're moving to Mexico. I'm just joking. We're not moving to Mexico. But I was excited when I saw the number. So you start doing home equity reports. Are you with me so far? And the last piece I'm going to do, so we talked about, and I have no idea where my time is. I'm just going to let you know that right now. So I'm just shooting from the hip. Okay, I'm good. I got 10 more minutes. Okay, good. I'll bring it home in 5 because I'm just going here, shotgun style. So we talked about your mindset. We talked about changing it from the top producer to a 9 to 5 change from a 9 to 5 to a contacts, an appointment mindset. We talked about working by referral. I want you to commit to 20 people that you're going to take out to a client party, and it's as simple as taking them out to an all you can eat. Just find the 20 people, and in that meeting, you're going to also get you some video reviews. Write this down: video reviews. You're going to get some video reviews. Stop getting written reviews. I'll tell you why. Write this down. Because here's the thing. Written review, video reviews can do what written reviews cannot, which is transfer emotions. Okay? Transfer emotions. When Jason comes on and he starts talking about, let me tell you something. The best endorsement you can get is when somebody's putting emotions in there. Okay, so get you Google reviews. And here's another pro tip too. I want you to start getting case study reviews. So every one of us have one of those deals that were really hard. Yes, they're really tough. Really, we had to get kind of creative to get it done. Go find those, get them on a Zoom, record it, and let them tell the story about your creativity and how you was able to get the deal done. And now you got a case study review that we could use in our marketing. We could use whenever we get in our new clients. If it's an expired listing that didn't sell for like a million years and you got it done, do a case study review on that expired listing. We could use that in marketing. We could use that in promotion, running ads, whatever we want to do, so other people can see, hey man, I get stuff done. You with me so far? And then, so we talked about that. And if you have any questions, I'm going to stop, and Ben, you're going to do it because I'm not seeing the chat properly. So I know people might be asking questions. And the last thing you want to do is work big data, right? How many of you are familiar with big data analytics? People that are most likely to sell, people that are, high probability to sell. There's websites like Remind does it. There's websites like offers.com does it. Redx does it. Redx, Remind, offers.com, My Plus Leads. So many of them will give you analytics on an area and tell you who's most likely to sell. And if you have these people that are most likely to sell that are showing selling behavior in a particular zip code, my goal to you is that you should be sending out offers, letters to them every single day. I have a buyer letter. That's a great one. Right? I have a buyer letter. Are you interested in having a one-party showing? You can have the buyer client. That's another good way to get you these buyer contracts. I'm just saying, and I'm going to moonwalk out with this one. I was getting buyer contracts in Queens, New York, before it was even a thing. I was signing buyers up on contracts, getting paid by the buyer before it was a thing. Everybody said, oh my God, I got to sign a buyer contract. Bro, I've been doing that. That's like 10 years ago. I've been doing that. Right? Because the secret to that is this: commission is not an issue. Commission is only an issue in the absence of value. When my value exceeds my fee, man, they're happy to pay it. And I've been doing that. And one of the ways that I've done that many, many years ago, I used to say to the buyer, I'd say, hey, let me tell you something. When you sign up with me today, I go to work for you. And I'm going to get you access to properties that are not listed on the MLS. Off-market properties. And people say, how would you do that? Even before big data, you know how I did it? 2-year-old expireds. 3-year-old. Everybody wants to get the fresh expired yesterday, but I want to go back for the often expires, the one that people don't want to mess with. Those are nicer conversations because there ain't nobody bothering them but Mr. Pierre. Man, you guys didn't know what I talk about, man. I'm just going to sit back on this one. So, so you need to be sending out offers to these people. And I think that's it. I think I'm gonna pump the brakes on that. Take a question or two before we go out. But I hope that shotgun effect that this gave you guys there, because they brought me in. Ben was like, man, just go for it. So I went for it, right? So, Ben, I'm going to turn it back over. I don't know if you have any questions in the chat that maybe I need to address before we bring this on down.
So that's what I love. That's what I loved about you, because, man, you gave it to us straight with no chaser. Right. And I'll tell you, if you weren't focused, if you didn't have your pen ready the way I did, then you missed some of the nuggets. And I'll tell you, guys, I think that my Kelly knows my favorite bold saying is success is simple. It's just not easy. Right. And again, keep it simple. Don't worry about the time. Worry about the contacts, the conversions, right? I think that's what's most important. Christy, you're right, Richie. That was good stuff. And again, he gave it to us quick. And yet I just got the notice, hey, we still have another 7, 8 minutes. So I'm not even going to waste the time. Chris, was there anything? Yes, ESG, he brought the meat for sure. Um, does anybody have, even in the training class, does anybody have a pointed question or two? Because I don't want to waste the time. We got him. We got him for another 7 or 8 minutes. Give it to me. If you got something that you want to know.
And while you're queuing up the question,
Yeah.
raise your hand if you're on the Zoom to ask the question, and if you drop it in the chat. But the one piece that I missed here, so we talked about the building a database, coming into the client parties. I'm just looking at my notes that I had here that I didn't want to miss. Here's the last piece. The last piece is you gotta get you, which is what you're in right now, in a community of doers. You gotta be in a community of doers. You gotta get you a coach at some point. Okay, you could afford it. It would be worth it, because here's the thing: as entrepreneurs, as leaders, sometimes what happens is we mean well, but then we get in, man, and we just get totally distracted. We get totally off course, especially if you get a couple of deals in the pipeline, you forget the fundamentals. But a coach, a mentor, or a community group is going to keep you on task. Okay, so yeah, I saw some questions coming. Was it, what other client events are you doing? Multiple, Monique. We'll take this a whole nother class. I'll give you a bunch of different client. So for instance, you could do a client party where you can do it in the park. Okay, there's client parties in the park. There's what we call reverse door knocking. I'll give you another one where you could rent out Mr. Softy. I've had food trucks where we've done food trucks, and you pay them, $2,000 for like a what you call it, tacos, right? And then you could send out for the people that are most likely to sell. Come by and get a taco. I'm in the park, and when they come by, you over there with your shirt on, with your tent on. So these are called the reverse prospecting. Not so much client parties, but like a reverse door knock. So I'm not going out to the door. I'll mail it out. Let the door come to me. Let that one sink in for a second, because I'm bringing the doors that I know that are most likely to sell. But client parties is, you could do the dinner. That's a simple one, nice low impact. You could get in. You could do one where you could do the paint and sip. I've had movie theater client parties, right, for the kids. When a new show came out, you could rent out the movie theater. Did you guys know that? You could rent out the movie theater. New kid movie coming out. You got a bunch of people in the database that have kids. Rent it out. Come over. You could team up with your mortgage lenders. Client parties. It's endless. You could do teamed client parties if you're into that, right? So again, even with right now with Thanksgiving coming up, the reverse pop by, we call it. Instead of me coming to them, they come to my office, pick up their pies. I have so much I can teach you on that. That's a whole session in itself. But yeah, it's all about creativity. Here's what I want you to think about that. I don't know who asked the question. Here's what I want you to think about that. How could I just create an experience for my database that they will never forget? That's the key to a client party. That's the key to a client party. What's the experience? It could be a paint and sip. It could be, I can rent out Dave and Buster's. I can do that. Get the adults out. No kids allowed. We like to play some games too, man. You should see me over there dancing on the thing, man. You guys know what I'm talking about. I swear, when I go to Chuck E. Cheese and I got these little kids playing on these games, I'm like, I want to play, but I'm look too grown to play, so I can't. So I go to Dave and Buster's and I play. Yeah, you guys didn't know nothing about that right there. But again, amazing experience. That's what you're looking for. That was Monique, so I appreciate that. Anything else,
And
guys?
let me chime in. I tell folks that I think today experiences will take you further than just a giveaway. The movie, I've been doing that now for 7 years. In the next week and a half, I've got my jazz experience, which is a very popular event for me. I'll have over 100 clients at that event. Typically at my movie event, I have anywhere between 100 and 130. And that movie experience is very cheap, especially when I look at the price per client, right? It'll cost me about $1,500 to have 120 people in the audience. So that's a good one. And again, micro events, especially, spa days for ladies or men, right? They don't have, your point was, it doesn't have to be expensive. And oftentimes it doesn't even need to cost you money. You might be able to bring in a vendor or two to help assist on that. So be mindful of that. Don't always think I got to spend big money. Not always, not always. So,
No, you start off small. Start off with the 10,
boom.
$20, and then you kind of grow from there. But the key is that you're always in that mindset of adding value. And then make sure that when they come out to those movie theaters, I don't know if you're doing it, but start getting those video reviews. Set up a little
Yeah.
section, get you a nice little green screen, a little light, and say, hey man, if you go over there. Another thing too, in these client parties that we used to get, we had a couple of tablets set up, and they can go over and they can give us a Google review right there, or you can have a QR code scan. They could go to the corner. You got to make it into an experience. If you say, oh, when you get the time to do it, they'll mean well, but they'll not do. But if you create an experience where they got to do it right there, you'll get the video there, you'll get the Google review there. And then I always go with Google reviews. I don't go to Zillow or anywhere else, because I want to get that Google juice to squeeze it every single time. So
Bro, talking about squeeze, man. You squeezed, I think you squeezed about a 50-minute report into about 27, 28 minutes, 29. For I can't thank you enough, guys. And again, he mentioned community. Not again, a community of supporters. We're Eagles. We soar higher than everybody else. I've said it 1,000 times because I believe it. I know it to be true. And my brother, I appreciate you
thank
for
you guys.
soaring high with us today and bringing the meat this week. That's
Thank you
exactly what you
guys.
did. That's what you
I
now,
appreciate it.
give them your phone number just so they know how to get you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna drop it in the chat. So I would love for you guys if you go to my social media is the game, right? So go to my site. You're gonna get my phone number and everything in there. So that's it right there. Link me up on Instagram. Link me up on the link to it in. Link me up on the Facebook message. You know, grow. You follow me. I follow you. We make some work together. Cause that's the whole goal with everything, right? So that's on there. Anything you need is on that page. And I strongly recommend that if you didn't buy your name as a domain name, another pro tip, go get it today. Okay, if you don't have the dot realtor, go get it today. It's always beautiful to just have your own name as your domain name and brand it. It doesn't even matter if it's long. Buy it. It's going to be beautiful. Yeah, and I love to connect with you guys on the socials.
All right.